Okay, I think it's time to start. For the hopefully next 45 minutes, I'm saying hopefully because I have a tendency to speak a lot, but Peter is here to help me today to keep it short and condensed for all of you.
We have a secret sign.
Yeah. For the next 45 minutes, we will be talking about Nebu Panel Manager. We want to show especially how to build attractive and well-performing member portals, and we want to touch upon the reporting part. So you being able to look into insights regarding your portal panel health and performance. Some of you know me. My name is Małgorzata. I'm a marketing person here at Nebu. I am often called visual or styling police because, I'm responsible for all that is regards the look and feel. And I'm happy to have Peter Takac with me. Peter, product owner of Nebu Panel Manager and absolute lifesaver. He helped me so much creating the portal that you will see. It's a new portal.
Yeah, I'm the one on the right side.
Peter is also here to help in case there are more technical questions. Okay. And a little bit, a little reminder about what Nebu Panel Manager is. Our application is designed to help clients in three main areas: in building, maintaining, and monetizing panels. You can recruit members. We will touch upon that today. You can use Nebu data collection tools, but this is not, the tool is not limited towards Nebu only. You can work with any data collection tools that you want to help you collect data. We offer you really attractive tools to manage and activate your panels, keep them active, the members. And of course, what we will talk in more details today, how to utilize and analyze data to help you maximize the profits. A few months ago, we had a webinar about Nebu Panel Manager, but I can see that not all of you attending today joined that webinar. So just on a very high level, I want to remind what Nebu Panel Manager offers, starting with the fact that this is a multi-panel solution. So it means that you can create multiple panels, maybe design to match particular target groups or particular industries or your clients' brands. It offers pretty wide options for different recruitment methods. We will also speak about it today. Several kinds of surveys, embedding forms on various portals, also as using member portal to register new members, and allowing your current members to also invite their own friends or colleagues. And we all know that word of mouth is still one of the best channels to get high quality members into your panels. Nebu Panel Manager allows members to collect points for profiling and also research surveys. And what is quite important from members' perspective, you can also grant points for screenouts or over quota, which only makes your panel member want to still engage into questionnaires. They know that they will be rewarded anyway. There are also attractive options for recruiting new members. It's really easy for members to update their data. There are several profiling questionnaires that can be available at any point on the member portal. You will see that, and you as a manager, you have access to historical data. All the queries in the database can be also made based on this historical information you have about all your panel members. It's very easy to access member portal if you design them well, and this is what we will talk about today. They will be responsive, available from any device, nicely scalable. And I also am happy to mention that we are working on rolling out web content accessibility guidelines. So soon our portals will be fully meeting the requirements for visually impaired. And in the previous webinar, I showed it a little bit more, and I spoke in details about how our panel is created, and it's created based on attributes. So any question asked in profiling survey, for example, is an attribute, and you use those attributes for feasibility checks, for any queries, for creating sample filters. It's very easy to use this. Yeah, today I will show you a new, well, it's not new, but I didn't show in the previous webinar the reporting side of Nebu Panel Manager. It's very interesting and helpful. So we will dive into that area. And ticketing system, this is something that if we have time, I will also touch upon today, but it's also mentioned in the previous webinar. And rewards platform, and keeping your members active. So this is the high-level overview of the main functionalities, main modules available in Nebu Panel Manager. And again, this roadmap, what you can see here, the items in gray are items that I touched upon a few months ago. In this webinar where we were launching Nebu Panel Manager. So I showed end-to-end running of the project from Nebu Panel Manager platform, applying sampling rules, creating feasibility checks, sending emails, creating batches. All those aspects are covered in that webinar, as well as the ticketing system part. We have integrated ticketing system that really helps efficiently, effective communicate with your panel members. We talked about API connections. And the items that you see in red, these are the main topics of today's webinar. And the item in blue is of course very much connected with creating member portals and recruitment, incentivizing panel members, driving high engagement, and setting up managing rewards platform. It is a very important subject, a little connected to what we talk about today, but I will not touch upon this because this is a really sneak preview right now. Next week we will officially inform about a new integration, new partnership with Ribbon. On 11th of March, we will have a webinar absolutely devoted to this subject, this topic. We have a lot to share, so save the day, and that's why we will not talk about this particular element. If you want to find the webinar that I keep referring to, you can go to our website. Either way, you can find all of the webinars with this URL. You can also go to library. This is the webinar I refer to, Discover Nebu Panel Manager. It was hosted a few months ago when we launched this new application, and here within I think 20 minutes, I really go through the entire flow, showing how the tool works. First 10 minutes, it's a little bit of introduction to Nebu as well, so we can speed it up a little bit and see those 20 minutes to get all of the information that you might be missing from today's session. And main topics of today: creating panel members, panel portals, and recruiting members, analyzing most effective channels and campaigns, and understanding who exactly your panel members are. Let's start with creating member portals and recruiting members. This is also something I mentioned during a previous webinar. We offer quite an extensive range of recruitment possibilities. So of course you have system surveys. These are surveys that are created directly in Nebu Panel Manager. Profiling surveys, you can embed them as forms. You can share them with your possible panel members through emails. You can also use any external data collection survey. Of course, you will get most benefits if you work with Nebu Data Suite, but we open the tool also for other data collection tools. You can create those invitations using the UI or also using API connections. And of course, member portals, we will talk mainly today about how to create them and how we build our member portals. And in the same principle, we can also work with other web portals. So you will see that some of the questionnaires are actually embedded on member portals, and in case you need, we can also provide such support with other locations on the internet. And this is an add-on, but if you want, we can also provide you with a mobile app for your members. But I must say that if the portals are built properly, they are fully responsive, and I wouldn't say this is a must, but it's of course a nice to have. Let's start with our coffee portal. So if you happen to join the previous webinar, or if you watch the recording, you will also see that this is a new portal. It has been created just recently. And yeah, I guess one of my main messages that I would like you to remember when it comes to member portals, it's very similar as to building a real website. And it might seem a little bit scary. You're marketing researchers, you're fieldwork, you're coming from fieldwork companies, so you might not have a lot of experience in building websites. But at the same time, what we will show you is how easy it is to create such a website. We will share tips, and we will show you in which areas we will help you. So basically, what you see here, it's in the menu. You will notice that we have different menu for when a member is registered login and when it's not. So for my marketing purpose, this is like a coffee demo portal. We keep creating this coffee demo project to show what Nebu tools are capable of. So it's partially referring to this coffee brand that we keep researching to show what we can do in the surveys and dashboards and then all of the aspects of Nebu Data Suite, but also it's partially information meant for you, our prospects, our clients, to get to know what we can offer. That's why there is a tab I created that speaks a little bit of Nebu, a little bit of our history, a little bit about the coffee portal itself, linking to the right tools, to Nebu Data Suite, a little bit information about our achievements, so Nebu in numbers, just a few key information to give the message about our company, a little bit about coffee demo. So these are the marketing parts that I'm speaking of, but you might also want to explain, for example, what is this portal, what is the goal of your endeavor. And from here, you can right away register to a portal. It's one of the ways to help members register. And this is what you can see here, this form. This is actually a Nebu Panel Manager questionnaire that is embedded as a form on the page. I am already registered, so I will just log in to show you the different option. So a menu that is seen by a person who is logged into the portal. Of course, this can be absolutely customized towards your needs. So from here, as you can see, there are several tabs that were not seen. My surveys, I have been invited to a few surveys, so your members at any point have information, all the information that they need. I also want to present right away a mobile view. Everything scales properly. If you designed a website in the proper manner, you will not ever encounter any issues. My profile, profiling surveys, and from here, I want to make a jump to Nebu Panel Manager, so to the backend. And I think this is the message that I would like to bring, is to make everyone understand that what you see here in the application itself, it's I would call it the backend, and what you see on the portal is the front end. Everything is connected. The front end, the panel portal is just nicely looking, I would say, sets of plugins that works with the same information. As you can see, I have those three informations. Here I'm logged in as a manager, and I will go to the overview of myself. And if I go to profile surveys, we will see that indeed I am invited to 3 profiling surveys. I have only got some points for double opt-in, for confirming registration. And if I go right now into, well, let's fill in one of the questionnaires. Okay, country. Which country to pick? I'll pick Netherlands. Okay, submit answers. Wonderful. And from here, I will refresh information about my profile, and I can also show you, if I go to profile surveys, it shows that I did complete the questionnaire right now. I got some extra points. And this is also reflecting here on the member portal. And yeah, I would like Peter to take over here and maybe explain how we do that and what are we using to make those portals work and be integrated so well with Nebu Panel Manager.
It's magic.
Of course.
I don't know any more about that. Yeah. Problem is, we had an agreement that I will not talk about too many technical things, which makes this really hard. So, yeah. If you ever used WordPress, you probably know that WordPress itself is a blog engine. And what makes it a great CMS system, which is the content management part, besides blogging, is that it has many so-called plugins. So the shell of WordPress is just a blog engine, and anything that you want to achieve, you can achieve, because there are so many plugins for this blog engine that you can create a complete portal out of it. With all kinds of additional functionalities and security measures and emails and everything else. So what we did here is that we implemented or created our own plugin that you can very easily add to WordPress like any others. And once you did that, after a small setup, any member site that you already have can become a member portal with all this additional functionality about showing profile surveys and surveys, points histories, and buyable incentives, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Yeah, thank you for not going into too much technical.
Yeah,
It was already quite a lot, but I guess.
yeah. I said the word plugin 4 times more than I should have. I'm sorry for that.
But the message is also that
Add-ons. I should have said add-ons. Sorry. Yeah, please continue.
the work behind it's usually something that we cover for our customers. It happens that we get to work with people who are really advanced working with WordPress, but most of the time we just build those portals for you, covering all the backend stuff, and the only aspects that the clients are working on is actually deciding what kind of information and what kind of content should be provided on the portal. And as a marketing person, again, I'm also not so technical, so maybe I will just walk you through how I have created that portal. And again, as Peter said, WordPress is very powerful and it offers a lot of possibilities. So how I approach creating a portal. This is a website devoted to one particular theme of different website templates. And this particular theme includes over 600 pre-built websites. And how this all works is that actually you can pick any of those pages, and with, well, I'm gonna say a few clicks, of course it's a little bit much more, but again, for you it will be just picking a theme. You can apply any of those themes on top of the engine. So if I want to change a theme and make actually this very nice template that I have open here, I could also do the same. And of course, with changing different, we have to change the pictures, we have to change the graphics and content. But this can be, for example, a front end to your portal. And yeah, so I showed you a little bit around the portal, and I would like to show you the theme that I have actually picked. I have browsed through several pages. Oh, and maybe also this is a nice tip to know. So whenever you're looking at a particular theme in a template library in WordPress, you can also choose some of like themes. For example, you will be working with a client that is in the finance industry, or maybe something about cars and bikes. So you can also make it a little bit easier. Of course, no one will have time to scroll through 600 websites to find the most suitable one. So there is some help here. And of course, if you have a question right away in your mind, how would I know which theme to use? We will also help you. We have some experience. We have people working with us on creating those portals, so we might as well give you some suggestion. Okay, check out those several possible templates, libraries. Let's find something nice. And how it worked, I went through several pages. In the first round, I only look at the structure of the page. So as you can see, this is maybe even funny to look at a page that is all about farming, right? It's completely a different industry. But if you're able to filter the topic, and you focus on the structure, it's actually a perfect potential template for a panel member. For example, collect instead of peers, register instead of peers, collect complete surveys instead of grapes, collect points and redeem points for rewards instead of apples. So only choosing the categories will, looking at the categories on the page will help you to figure out if this is something for you. Otherwise, you might have preference, like what I like about this particular template. It's very spacious, it's very light, it's not crowded. It might make it easier on me to click on things. And I think the key to creating really very nicely performing and attractive portal is actually relying on experienced people who created those templates. And yeah, there are 600. They are perfectly optimized for any device. They are designed by people who are really experienced. They know better about user experience, about where people want to click, where each aspect needs to be to make it a very harmonic experience. So I think the only challenge is to filter the current theme and to focus on the content. Another one that I was interested in is this one. I really like the video behind. It's very interactive, and of course, you have to know that there are possible changes in working with a template. So, for example, we don't have to have this triangle situation happening. So, or you can remove a particular sections. For example, maybe you don't need the mission here. It doesn't have to be. But again, I like that it's very clean, very spacious, and I can totally see this work with a portal. I also very much like this one and this handyman theme. I liked for having a menu on the side because it's something fresh. It's something that you don't see that often. We are more accustomed to the menu on the top, but eventually we actually decided to go with this template. So the same template and that I use on my profile is this ski resort template. So again, a few pictures, a few links, a few key informations on the main page. I didn't use all of the sub pages available, but you might notice this is the structure that I follow. So again, we will help you to make it all work, but your work is actually the fun part, to really think and focus only on the message that you want to bring across and creating the content. So again, if from here we go back to this template, you will notice that I follow that structure. And just by changing the content, changing the pictures, we get a completely different feel. Yes, and if we are here, I will go to the recruitment part. And again, I will not go through everything because, as I mentioned in the previous webinar, we talked about sending invites and registering people with surveys. You could see that you can register on the portal. I want to show an option to recruit a member, because this is something that we also didn't do last time in the previous webinar. So pretty much we implemented this form in my profile tab. It can be a separate tab, but we noticed and we heard from customers that it really performs well if a happy member recruits another member. And to demonstrate how this functionality works, I will just invite myself. I will send recruit. And hopefully I will receive the email very soon. Because first, Peter, I have to receive the email, right? And only then I can show it on the portal, on the panel.
Yep.
Okay.
And now that I am with it myself, I just like to say the word plugin just once again. This was the last one.
In the meantime, when I wait for the email, I will show you also the history of points. So right now I have 200 points, 50 for completing the registration. I filled in basic information. It's of course up to you how you set up the points. There is a conversion between between points and your particular currency that you work with, supported in Nebu Panel Manager. And again, we have the rewards part already here. I don't want to speak about it because we have a whole big webinar planned in a month. And I also want to show you the results tab if you want to share, for example, some results with your members right away. You can, for example, embed this is like a Nebu Reporter dashboard, embed it here directly on the portal, or you can also just link from here to a whole new dashboard. This is also a coffee dashboard where we show results from several of the webinars and demo environments created within this team. So you can also do that. And from here, I will confirm that yes, I definitely want to become a member of the portal. Oh, of course, I have to first log out. So
this is actually very cool. As you can see, if people try to invite themselves, that won't work just like that.
Yeah. So now I was logged out, and from here I will, because it's just an invitation, right? So as a person invited, I have this ability to just browse, to check what is this, if I like it, and of course I decide to register. So from here, okay, just, oh, my birthday coming up. And it was a different email. Hopefully the same password. Yes. Never. Okay, and now I can log in. Right away, this is how we set up our portal right away. This is like the double opt-in questionnaire, because it's a coffee demo. I know these are not the usual profiling questionnaires, but for the purpose of the demo, I always make it about coffee. Why I drink coffee? Because I like the taste and I like black coffee, and I accept terms and conditions and cookie policy. I submit answer, back to coffee portal. Yeah. And from here, I would like to show you.
Scusi, maybe you could also show the panelist in the panel manager.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I want to. I have too many.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, good. It's always good that you keep an eye on what I'm doing here. So yeah, so from here I will try to find myself. Well, I will find myself. It's not that complicated. So I know the email search. So indeed, we can see based on the time that I was registered, all of the terms are accepted, my profile is completed. And from here, this is the part that Peter wanted me to show. It also refers that I was recruited on that day by that particular person. And if I click on the code, I'm going back to my original profile. So the person who invited my other personality. And it also reflects here that indeed it's another person that I successfully managed to invite into the panel portal. And I think in the transactions, Peter, it's not yet approved, but when it's approved, you can also decide to grant particular amount of points for that particular action.
Indeed, to avoid fraud, we only give you the points automatically for inviting others when they complete their first research survey. But as a panel manager, you are also able to just manually give them points for the recruitment earlier.
Okay. And I think, Peter, is there anything else that I should mention about the portals and recruitment that I didn't speak last time or today? No.
No.
Yeah. And I think that's, if you have any questions about it, please just send them to the Q&A and we will do our best to answer all of the questions if the time allows, otherwise we will pick it up personally. And from here, I would like to jump to the to another aspect that we didn't speak about yet, so panel health and performance. I would like to show you some of the reports available with Nebu Panel Manager. And first, let's go to analyzing the panel analyzing sources. I'm sorry, analyzing sources. So basically, from the statistic tabs, we go into panel reports. You might have 100 reports panels, so you have to pick the panel that you want to work with. And from my perspective, one of the most important aspects is to be aware of the acquisition source. So to make sure that you're actually allocating your time and your activities in the right way, you want to be able to see which source is performing the best. And again, as you can see, this is just a small demo panel. So we have only 126 members in total, but in the principle, you can see all of your sources. In this overview, you can assign a separate source also per questionnaire, for example, or you can have import batches. You can have recruitment, for example, is a source created for the word of mouth invitations, and then this part of recruitment. So you will be able to identify the right sources. And if you want to go into a little bit more details, this is also a response rate chart, but because I didn't have a lot emails here, I'm not going to show it. It's pretty empty, but I will still show what is possible in some screenshots from a different environment. And this is another report that you can go into a little bit more details. And again, usually here you would see high-level information like the country, which is pretty relevant, or gender or age groups and information like that. Again, because this is only a demo coffee portal, I have a little bit of abstract questions that I was asking. So for example, how do you like your coffee? And still you will see how many of your panelists gave the answer, how many never has given the answer. Another question that, for example, I have is, do you like coffee, yes or no? And again, this is pretty abstract, but I want to show you how easy it is to customize those reports. So if you go to panels, and again, you have to pick the right panel. From here, you have reports by questions. So as I mentioned before, the panel is built upon attributes, and actually an attribute is a question. So if you have an attribute, you can also create within just a click of the button a report. And again, it will be a little bit abstract, but I have this question, why do you drink coffee? I will just save it. And from here, if I go back to the health report again, we will see that extra question that I added. So again, just imagine that you have your profiling questions, and you can see those overviews, very simple. And again, as I mentioned, I do not have that much data. So for this webinar, I also got screenshots from another environment. We are actually right now rolling this new module that goes a little bit more in depth into your KPI, mainly in two areas, in your panel health and survey facts. So what you can see here, these are stats per particular day in comparison to the last day of the previous month. So you always have like day-to-day information with some indication, high-level indication of the trend. And if we go into details, when it comes to survey, when it comes to panel health, you will get information about the panel size, and about the active panel size. You might have several panels. In this particular case, we have panels divided per countries. It's the same brand for different countries. And for each of your panels, you can add an activity threshold. So you can decide for yourself what it means, active panel size. This is this area. As a more definition, means that that's the profile that has been completed, and either way a person submitted a complete within the last 12 months or edited their profile. You will get information about net active panel growth, so your percentages of change in the number of active panelists compare again to the last month, and an absolute number. You will get the churn rate. Churn rate, and then actual absolute number of panelists that became inactive or deleted their account in this month. And again, it's always compared here to the result of the last day of the previous month. And you can also you can easily check trends. You get this timeline when you can pick one of the variables and decide on the time frame you want to look into trends. And when it comes to survey facts, also quite important information. So of course the obvious response rates, completion rates, dropouts, screen out rates, quota full. Also all surveys, absolute numbers of surveys sent out. This is an aggregated number. Surveys completed, surveys dropout, surveys started surveys, reminded load, so average number of reminders sent per panelist, a little bit more insights, and again the trend line. And I think this brings us to conclusions. A few things I would like you to remember leaving this live session today. In terms of creating panel member portals and recruiting members, yeah, creating member portal is similar to web development. You have to be careful of having high standards in terms of responsiveness, so you really make it easier for your members to access at any time from any device whenever it's convenient for them. And again, you don't have to be an experienced web developer to make it all happen. Those great possibilities that WordPress holds for us are available also for you, and we will support you with making this happen, so you really can have those interactive, really fun looking, maybe dynamic portals that match either way your target group or brands or industries that you have to work with. And in terms of analyzing most effective channels campaigns, if you keep track of your acquisition channels, the ones that are performing well, you will be able to allocate your energy, your resources well, and this helps to keep an eye on what's happening in terms of trends, so you can actually make it much more efficient to monetize your panel. You will know if it's active, if you get more members, if they really respond into the questionnaires, if they are leaving or unsubscribing. You might identify why it's happening and just take actions to prevent it. And understanding who exactly your panel members are as you saw, you can really fast and easily create custom reports with insights into panel structure, and it for sure will help you to plan and execute the growth of the panel. And of course, seeing those details, survey facts will help to estimate and improve the value of your panels to your business partners. And yeah, I think this is all from my side. It's the moment for questions and answers. Peter, do you see, because I don't see right now the window with questions and answers. Are there? Oh,
Nope.
I can see now. Okay. Yes, we have a question. During the presentation, I have noticed an impersonate panelist button. What does it do? Peter.
Oh, that's probably for me. Okay. Well, there's a feature that we don't have enabled by default, but we can enable for anyone if they want. You probably don't want all of your employees to be able to do that. It's especially useful for supporting panelists, as you probably already know or may have not heard about that yet. Panelists can open their own tickets that will end up in the panel. You can also see there is a ticketing menu where we have some tickets open already. And when someone is complaining about the portal, they are not able to buy an incentive or fill a survey. With this feature, you can just impersonate them on the portal and see everything they see on the portal.
Yes, indeed.
Of course, you don't see information or can do things that you couldn't do anyway as such a high-level admin in Panel Manager with your panelist data. But this is a tremendous help for seeing what they have a problem with your own eyes.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Yes, I can see another question. Is it possible to have a few member portals with different themes, Peter?
Yep. It's such a long answer. Okay. Yes, this is actually an improvement on top of our previous portal offering. Each portal can set which panels are able to log in to that particular portal from among all your panels. You can have several portals on top of the same panel if you like that. And of course, you can have even one portal per panel.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? Of course, if something comes up your mind after this session, please just send us an email. We will be more than happy to pick it up, to answer your questions. If you need, we can offer more personalized demo. And again, for anyone who did not see a previous webinar, please go to Nebu webinars or to Nebu library, because then you will see how you can actually run end-to-end projects within Nebu Panel Manager. I didn't want to repeat the same information, and that's why it's a part you didn't see today. And again, just maybe a moment for any other incoming questions. Is there something? Okay. In that case, thank you so much for your time, for your attention. Thank you, Peter, for joining and helping me with setting up this portal. And again, just a reminder about upcoming webinar next month. We will focus on tips and tricks how to keep your members active in the long run. So again, thank you so much and hope to see you soon.